Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys 1975.
This is Thunderblade on the ZX Spectrum, released by US Gold, and yeah, I know, developed by Tier Tex, but bear with me on this one. Yeah, so released by US Gold in 1988 and released on all the usual suspects. The Amiga, the Atari ST have gameplays of both those, and I really actually quite like them. For the same reason that I like this version over most other ports. Is it the best port of this game? Absolutely not. But it does do, same with the Amiga and the Atari ST, Commodore doesn't do it, something really, really cool there. The fact that they're doing this with a 48K Spectrum blows my mind. So apologies about the background noise. I don't know if there was a 128K version. There may be, and you got all the levels loaded in at once. Obviously I'm cheating because I'm using a tap file and I'm playing this on my retro games, the Spectrum, but I don't think there were, and by all means correct me, because I don't think I've ever played it, and a couple of times I played it on this channel, but one with, like, you know, 128K music, you know, AY chip goodness and improved sound effects. So you will hear background noise, as I do live on the busiest road in the West Country, and this has, you know, 48K beeper sound effects. So Thunderblade, obviously based on a seminal arcade game released by Sega in 1987. I have an arcade gameplay of it in its entirety, and I also have a gameplay of me playing on an actual cabinet. I adored that game. I absolutely loved it. You could argue that it's a tech demo, but when I first saw it in Westford Ho, in the sit-down cabinet, it wasn't like, you know, hydraulic. It was, I guess, gear-based, and as you move the joystick, witchcraft happened, and it moved the cabinet in the opposite direction, but it felt like a helicopter. It was absolutely fantastic. Heavily influenced by Blue Thunder, which I absolutely loved as a kid, and I always said that Blue Thunder could totally take Airwolf's ass. I'm not here to argue that with you, but it featured two very distinct and different styles of gameplay. It had, well, distinct being your traditional Sega Super Scaler into the screen effect, which was, you know, absolutely fantastic, and then it had one where you were top down and it stacked sprites in a very, very convincing, you know, to simulate 3D manner, or pseudo 3D as I believe what the kids call it, where you could fly up and down in a level. So if you're in a city, you could fly to the bottom of the skyscrapers and back up. If you're in a cannon, vice versa. And there were absolutely huge bosses, some in the vertical stages and some in the horizontal stages. But the point I want to make about this version, because it is not perfect and the controls completely bite it in the ass, and I don't even know what they could have done to work around that other than have two people doing it, one operating the speed and the other person just operating, you know, the actual helicopter itself. But again, 48K, I am the only person who likes this. It does what it does in the arcade here, and I mean, Crash loved it back in the day, and we got a demo of it on the, I want to say it was the Christmas special. It had, you know, obviously, I was going to say Blue Thunder, Thunderblade on the cover, amazing, amazing artwork, and US Gold even managed to work in a cheeky Pepsi promotion for some reason, which you don't get to see in this version, but it's there in others. But yeah, it does what the arcade does. It's a mind-blowing feat for a 48K Spectrum machine, and other versions don't do it. The PC Engine version doesn't do it. The Super Thunderblade on the Mega Drive, which is shit, doesn't attempt it. The Master System version doesn't attempt it. But the humble 48K Spectrum, and I think the Amstrad, they attempt it, and they put it off to some degree. It's bordered, as you can expect here, because otherwise it would run like an absolute bag of ass, and while the frame rate's not great, for the most part it runs all right. Danny Dyer in the top left hand corner. Tell me that doesn't look like Danny Dyer. Anyway, right, so speed, bottom left hand corner. To the right of that are lives, and to the right of that hit. Now, you have up, down, left, right. You have speed, which you use. You hold fire and press forward, and you will see your bar increase at the bottom. This is for the top-down stages. Well, it's for both stages, but it's the top-down stages where it becomes really tricky. However, once you've got your speed to max, because you will need to, because they have loaded this game with all the enemies from the arcade, and they've all got fucking itchy trigger fingers. I tell you that much for a bag of chips. Yeah, so you've got to get your speed up to max, and then if you want to fire, you can't leave your finger on fire. You have to hammer, and you certainly can't like make sure you're pressing fire at all when you want to move up or down, because you then jump to affecting your speed. Hopefully that makes sense. It'll make sense in the game because I will die a lot. I don't think I've ever got past the canyon stage in this, and I don't care. And by that I mean top-down canyon stage, not flying through them. But yeah, I don't care because, like I said, loved this game as a kid in the arcades, and playing it on the Spectrum as a kid. Yes, the fact that they attempted to do that is mind-blowing. So, space, because we're on keyboard. And you have the same problem on joystick. Right, so, pull back, up, and then hold fire and up, forward, and you see I've got my speed up, but I've just got shot. But while I'm dying, use your invulnerability, take a moment to look at the buildings. I'll go up, I'll go down. Oh, see, problems with that. Do you see what I mean? 48K Spectrum. None of the consoles attempted this. It's insane. It's insanely difficult as well. Just by stacking sprites on top of each other. No other game attempted this on the Spectrum. No other game's done this on the Spectrum. It may have 48K sound, but this is insanely impressive. It really is. Now, we're into the city. It resets your speed. Even this. Granted, you are running slower, but then you kind of did in the arcade. You're a helicopter after all. You're not afterburner. But this is incredibly smooth as well. For attempting, you know, this sort of pseudo sprite scaling on the ZX Spectrum. Have you noticed that I haven't attempted to shoot anything? There's cool clouds, so there is parallax. Your explosions accuracy arcade, just as well. You will see it a lot. Right, I'm holding fire. Now, if I'm not going to use up and down, then I can fire all I want. I'm getting absolutely panned here because I'm trying to talk. Right, we're through the city. We're through the city. A little bit more here. Mainly tanks. Are there any jets? There should be jets. I can't stay mad at it. Like I said, this is tier text, people. You know. Shit text. This is a hacked ROM, or a tap file, so it's not hacked. It just means that I don't have to load. This is why it gets choppy, like the scrolling and stuff. But it's the boss of stage 1 in its entirety. Obviously you don't go up or down or into the scenery on this level. Bollocks. And there we go. That's how brutally hard it is. It's not just brutally hard because of having to wrap your head around the controls. It's brutally hard because they have not skimped on shoving a shit ton. I'm going the wrong way. We want end or ed. A shit ton of bad guys into it. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, I'm probably preaching to the unconverted, but this to me of a technical. On a technical aspect, on the ZX Spectrum, 48K, because it's a multi-loader, but it's 48K, yeah. You've not seen this on anything else. If any other game does this, and I haven't seen it, by all means tell me, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist. Also, I'm playing this on my Retro Against the Spectrum, so I'm using Q up 8 and I'll let P right, won't let me redefine them, and space instead of M fire. So look it up, look up a rubber mat and see how fucking awkward that is. Anyway, end. And what a surprise, I didn't make it. Well, I did, because I've knocked off the D at the bottom. So let's see if we can have another go and I can make it to the next stage. Or just not get so shot to fuck in the city. That might involve me not having to talk, but you know, we live, we learn. Bosh. Might have to try that again. It crashed. but it didn't just now, so we're going to keep going. Unlikely that I make it past the boat anyway, but yeah. Bosh. Oh wait, no, Dave, space, not enter. Here we go, right, leg it. See, all it had to do is give you an auto fire, like their workaround, or Activision's workaround, on Afterburner. So then you could at least, well, actually I can fire on this stage, but when you're going into the screen, you could at least use your Vulcans, take some of them bitches out. I can do it on this stage, but it just means I have to sacrifice, which I'm not going to do because I want you to see what I mean about why I love this. Sacrifice, you know, the lovely pseudo 3D effect on the buildings. This one, don't fire. You want to maneuver because, yeah. Look at this. Are you seeing the wall? The wall of death that's coming at me. The wall of offence. And I say it every time I play any version of, you know, Thunderblade, because we're in a town. How did they smuggle this much fucking hardware into a city and no one noticed? Oh, you can crash into the buildings. Run. I've got one life left. Ooh. Look at them apples. Shame we didn't get some AY chip goodness, but then by all means correct me if there's a 128K version, because I make the mistake of thinking there isn't all the time. Oh yeah, better destroy him. I do like the explosions. Like I said, the scrolling's awful in this one. I'm sure it's going to get a bunch of comments of people just go, my God, Dave, man, what's wrong with you? This is asshat, but like I said, I like it. Even as a kid, I admired its technical ability. The other thing is, it's the reason I like the... I mean, the PC Engine is technically my favourite 8-bit version of this. It stacks sprites and they move, but there's no going up or down into them. But the Amiga and the Atari ST do this, but do it with, you know, better graphics. So that's why I really like those versions as well. But yeah, it looks like I can't finish the boat. Anyway, one more go. Space. Yeah, it keeps crashing for some reason. But we'll see what happens if I make it to the end of the boat. But I had to put this in my series of great arcade ports revisited, because whether you agree with me or not, don't care. My channel, taste is subjective. I think this is a banger. Well, the 3 levels I can normally play of it. Enter. Space. Ooh. The thing is, you're penned in, so they could have given you a little bit of a break on how many fire at you and how fast they fire at you, because you were penned in a super narrow corridor. I'm wondering if up and down, they don't let you not press. Come on! Fuck. Up and down is the way forward, because I seem to have taken less hits. I say that. I'm still only on 3 lives. And having said that as well, it might be because I've been using my invulnerability. Look at that. Yeah, you gotta move around. Fuck me, this is hard. Oh, you gotta take up before you can speed up as well, you dumbass Dave. What'd you forget that for? Yoink. So look, there's no real slowdown either. No. I didn't even see what fucking hit me then. It didn't look like any of them in front of me. Fucking lying bastards. Abuse your vulnerability. Use your fake guns as clubs. Points for the quote. Yeah. That makes my eyes hurt and they're cool. Yoink. I mean, I have played this years ago, where I got to the next stage if anyone's interested. Probably not, to be fair. Motherfucker, come on. Oh God. Unfortunately, with the way it scrolls, I can't even see what I'm doing. Bastard! One more go. One more go. Clearly, the older I get, the more useless I become at these games. Right. Don't crash, motherfucker. Don't crash. Think you but know by now how that not crashing is playing out, but here we go. Fire. Up. Space. Run. Run, Forrest. If you could fly a helicopter, he probably could. He could do everything else in those fucking movies, couldn't he? Fuck! Basically, your invulnerability, you can't abuse it in the top-down levels because you need it just to get your speed up and off the fucking floor. And I'm not going to lie, I love it and its technical ability is fantastic, but it doesn't have to make my piss boil. No! I find a cheeky little wiggle up and down seems to be the order of the day. I am aware that that's probably going to bite me in the ass. It's getting around this corner here. Yeah, bite me in the ass because, well, I said so out loud. And that's how these things work. But yeah, see what I mean? Your invulnerability is only good for getting you off the fucking floor. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful I've got it. Yoink! Right, we got 3 lives. 1 for each of you. But I'm aware that should be 2 and not 3. Yoink! I do like the explosions, which is just as well, because like I said, it happens to you a lot. Right, so these big fuckers are 4 of them. Yeah! Some of them fucking apples in your fruit bowl. That's what you do with your invulnerability on this stage. No! I missed one! They don't fire up from behind though, fortunately. It's going to crash now, isn't it? Because... No! Well, I shouldn't have said that out loud, should I? Yeah, I'm going to be sick. Bollocks! Oh! Should have used your invulnerability, Dave. I think that's good enough. Oh no, keep forward. So they can't fire. Are those guns? I don't think they are. Hey! That's pretty fucking pathetic. I am aware of that. See, look, it's scrolling nice now, eh? Good times. There we go. End of level. It's going! It just appears that you can't reload it when you die, which is a bit annoying because you die a lot. Again, stacked sprites, looks a bit rough around the edges. It's a 48k Spectrum game. I'm pressing the wrong fucking keys. Oh, but yeah, it's a 48k Spectrum game. At least I got off level 1. So yeah, the crashing's not this game's fault. Although you would have to load the levels in individually back in the day, which would be a proper ball ache. But yeah, I am aware I'm alone on this one, but I think Thunderblade on ZX Spectrum, particularly because it's from Tiertex, for what they attempted to do here that far more powerful machines did not do, is an incredibly impressive and therefore one of the best ports on the ZX Spectrum. It's just balls-horrifically fucking hard, but to be fair, so is the arcade game. This is harder though. Anyway, as always, I love tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.